You are in a pit of rants. This one's for Tony Jabroni, who says, rant about Sean the audio engineer. Sean is classic. A class act, that is to say. A classic, just rugged dude who is just about, he just does what makes sense and is like, why the fuck is everybody else? I don't understand why all of you have so much difficulty reining yourselves in. Now, granted, I think that, I generally think that the people who are the most staunch about self-control are the people whose emotions are the most intense when let out of control. And for people who have had, histories with, like, abuse, particularly violence from their family members, then, like, that manifests in a way that, it's difficult for them to control a violent impulse. So it's like they want to be more in control, to be more comfortable. And I see Sean as somebody who, in his past was an emotional, maybe somewhat violent, certainly alcoholic person who, curbed those behaviors out of himself to be very self-controlled and kind of looks at everybody else as like, I'm working so hard to function and be normal. And all of you people are not even trying. You're just being complete fucking. You're acting insane and acting as though that is benefiting you. And I understand why. There are many people who are doing things similar to what I'm doing who would be looked at the same way, and that I am looked at the same way by many people. Anybody who really knows much about the science behind, transgender stuff would appreciate that there is in fact like theoretical basis for why going through a gender transition is beneficial to someone psychologically. And if you hang around with the trans community, there's a lot of reminding you of this fact. But like there are plenty of people who are abjectly doing, like, I think about that woman with the 4 boyfriends who was having the baby, and then like 3 months later, one of the boyfriends shook the baby or whatever, and it's like it was just the least surprising scenario because it was one of those things that anybody with, a sensible working emotional intelligence would look at and immediately see 1,000 problems with that they probably can't explain. And so, I understand why people distrust emotional reality as a basis for, determining action. But like when you are somebody who is good at that because you have strong emotional intelligence, it benefits you to also have self-control, to be able to look at things both logically and understand things immediately. And Sean is somebody who's like that. He's very capable of both. He's very capable of getting it, responding right away, saying something funny, having a strong sense of aesthetic, a strong sense of what is good or not good, but while, being and open-minded to new ideas while also holding fast to logic and being like, that is the ultimate buoy, that is the one thing you need to be consistent with, because if you're not being logical at all, then you're just making shit up, And there's no room in this world for just that amount of self-indulgence, when other people are trying to fucking keep it together and not knock you the fuck out, But, he's part of a healing world. A good man. Great co-host. Great audio engineer.